The ingredients for Cabbage Patch soup: potato, green pepper, onion, carrot, celery, lean ground beef, cabbage, that's napa cabbage, salt and pepper, tomatoes, beef stock, tomato paste, garlic, paprika, bay leaves, basil leaves, and parsley. A little tip I wanted to share: while I was cutting up the carrots and celery, I just cut up extra, and I'm going to freeze that. Since most soups start with a base of carrots and celery and usually onion, I'll be able to use this later, and it cuts my prep time in half. For medium-high heat, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, after the oil starts to get warm, put in your carrots, celery, and onions. Let those start to soften. Throw in your green pepper, garlic, these have cooked for about 3 minutes or so now. I'm going to make a place in the bottom of my pan to put my tomato paste and brown that up a little bit. Tomato paste, I cut the top off, then started to cut the back, and very carefully push the tomato paste out and remove the lid. And by putting the tomato paste in there and letting it cook, it kind of browns up and makes it taste richer and not as bitter. Just want to let that hang out for a minute. Alright, I just let that cook for a couple minutes. Add my tomatoes, and I didn't have 2 cans of just plain diced tomatoes, so one of them is Italian. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't call for it, so it's just what it is. I'm just going to work that on the bottom to help me get up the tomato paste that I browned and some of the hamburger drippings. I'm going to put my ground beef back in, and I browned it and drained it really good. And this is lean ground beef. You could use ground turkey, ground chicken, a combination. So we have so much chicken types of dishes that I try to throw in some red meat here and there. So just for variety's sake. And 5 cups of beef broth. I'm just going to rinse out my tomato cans here. You can certainly do low sodium beef broth in this dish. I've noticed since I've had the surgery and I'm not eating as much processed foods and fast foods and stuff, that the saltiness I can really taste. Yeah. Corey Jack agrees. But the saltiness I can really taste, so I'll just, I'm using regular beef broth, but then I'll use less salt to season it, if I use any salt at all. Alright. I hear you, buddy. I'm going to throw my potatoes in there. My son has been very patient, and he's starting to let me know that it's running thin now. You could also do this dish in a crock pot. Just brown up your beef first, of course. And then put your cabbage in. Like, let it cook all day, and then put your cabbage in like the last half hour. Then we're going to put parsley. And if you had fresh parsley, I would highly recommend it. But I don't. Paprika. And basil. For the exact measurements, we'll put that on pouchfriendly.com. 1 bay leaf and ground black pepper. Like I said, I'm going to hold off on the salt. I'll taste it and see how it is. I'm going to bring that up to a boil and then knock it back, let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, my soup has simmered for about 20 minutes. And now I'm going to add the cabbage. This is about 3 cups, which is about a half a head of the napa cabbage. So I'm going to shove it all down in there, and it'll cook down quite a bit. Clean off my lens. Getting steamed up. Okay, so that's going to cook for about 10 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Alright, there's the soup after it has cooked with the cabbage in it for about 10 or 12 minutes. Just remember, as you're ladling it out for your family, to take the bay leaf out. Or leave it in and tell them whoever finds it has to do the dishes. But there you go. Enjoy.